Almost forgot to turn on my microphone there. Well, welcome back, everybody. What's going on? My name is Kai Schwemmer. Welcome back to Out of Touch, your favorite Saturday show, your favorite Saturday pal, Schwemmer. Kai's your guy. That's going to be the campaign slogan in a couple of years when we end up running. But, yeah, hey, guys, we're so flipping back right now. I figured out the issue with the stream, so be sure right now, everybody, lock the flip in. I need you guys for this. I need you to share the stream. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button right now, that icon. But unironically, share the stream. I know there's lots of people who are tapping out. They're not trusting the plan. The connection's good, right? You said holy connection. I'm assuming that means good connection. I lowered the bit rate. I think that was our issue the entire time. We're checking it on YouTube. Who's that disgusting creature on my computer screen and on my phone screen? What an awful voice. Anyway, I just want to say I'm feeling good today. I'm getting very used to, and I'm liking these button-down shirts a lot. I forget the actual name for him. TR Sarter's he's gonna have to let us know. But I need every single one of you to commit right now. Share the stream. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitch. Share it on Twitch. I don't even care. Share it to your mutuals on TikTok. Share it to the girl you like. Okay? Tell the girl you like. Kai Schwemmer is live right now with his hit show, Out of Touch. He's going to tell us about Zohran Mamdani. He's going to talk about redistricting, a riveting issue. He's going to... are you kidding me? Boom, fixed. Look at that. The microphone issue has been fixed. Now you can tell that cute girl that you like, that Kai Schwemmer is live, that he's going to be talking about very important issues. We're going to be talking about the MAGA Civil War. There's something that I think needs to be discussed. Obviously, we've had the Tucker cost. We have had this absolute meltdown of the Republican establishment concerning, this issue of Tucker Carlson's interview with Nick Fuentes. So we're going to be discussing that a little bit. We're going to be discussing what our takeaways should be, what the correct opinion is, as I'm sure you've come to expect watching my stream. Pardon the echo there. You will be able to figure out after watching the stream exactly what opinions you guys should hold. So yeah, just want to say that. Very important. Next, if you guys want, what I'm debating is at the end of the stream, at the tail end of the stream, and the reason we're not live right now on Kick is because at the end of the stream, I'm debating doing monkey. And I'm not talking about the ape noises that I used to do. I'm talking about the Omegle clone. I'm thinking we do some monkey. I'm thinking we play armchair psychiatrist. And I'm thinking it's going to be swag. So let me know in the chat if you guys are down for that. I know I promised that to you guys a while back, but it was during a stream where we just had terrible connection. But I think today we might be able to pull it off. I think today we might be able to do it. So just let me know, guys, if you are down for that, and we'll get that going. But wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat. We've got Willie TV, Tice4M, Branosh. Dude, Branosh, my stream, I just want to say, before I even adjusted the bitrate, the stream was doing splendid, and then Branosh had to come up in here and say, connection starting to get a bit better. And literally the instant I read that message, the frame started dropping. You can't make references to the mic, to the networking, or to the network, to the connection. You just can't say anything about that. And if you do, we are just going to have to kill you, dog. I apologize. That is how it's going to have to be, because somehow some cosmic entity hears that, and I don't know what they do if they just start rubbing up on a satellite dish. I mean, I guess Wi-Fi doesn't really work that way anymore, but they really screw us up. So I'm going to start the show cool, chill. We had a great back day today, sipping a matecito. Sipping a matecito. And really, at this point, the thing that keeps me going more than anything, more than, of course, all of you, is the fact that if I don't keep streaming, if we stop doing these Schwemmer Saturdays, or Saturdays with Schwemmer, that is a mouthful. Saturdays with Schwemmer, if we stop doing them, the Not Kai Clips account on Instagram is not going to have any content. And I could not bear that. I'm egoistic enough to the point where my favorite thing to see is Not Kai Clips on Instagram, which is not me. It's a clipping account. But this account, he posts bangers. He posts absolute banger clips. Some of them have done very well. They've gotten thousands of views. The clippers on TikTok are doing very well. So, just wanted to say thank you. Wanted to say thank you for the clippers who are doing their job, who are serving the stream. And thank you, all of you, of course, who are tuning in and who have shared it to all the cute girls that you know. We had Chief Trumpster in the X chat. Let's go. Not Kai Clips becomes Kai No Clips. Yeah, real. I'm gonna start floating through walls the way I no clip. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm kind of delaying this whole thing. I need some mate. I need to re-up my caffeine intake. I take so many stimulants, man. I'm not talking meth. I'm not on the clavicular grind yet. But I take a lot of caffeine. I have a lot of caffeine. And I'm trying to make it more natural for the most part. That's why the stream's working. He's got his mate with him today. Well, I actually always have my mate with me, but this time I'm sipping on it. And this time I'm doing it like I'm deriving pleasure from it. It's not like super, super bitter. It's actually pretty good. Even though it's something that I actually haven't been drinking for the last couple hours because I went to gymnasium and usually it stays pretty cold. But today it's good. And guys, hey, very exciting news. So we actually, I should catch you guys up on everything. Let me just do this whole real intro. Welcome back, guys, to Out of Touch. I forget which episode we're on, 60 or something. We have very exciting news to talk about. We're going to be talking about the MAMDANI Trump visit. We're going to be talking a little bit about the redistricting efforts across the country. But one of the things I'm most excited for is the MAGA Civil War. And that obviously corresponds with MAMDANI because you have this kind of entrance of MAMDANI into the MAGA canon and the exit of Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm very excited to talk about all that. And if you guys do want to support the show, which is very much appreciated, because I'm a net. I'm not in education or training, or I'm not in employment or training. I am in education. I am a college cell. But if you guys do want to support the show, be sure to support us over at powerchat.live/kaiclips. And every single dollar is a dollar that does not go to what's his name? Brylan Hollyhand. Every single dollar you donate to Kai Clips is a dollar that is not spent on Brylan Hollyhand. And hey, who knows? Brylan and I, we may run against each other for office someday. You never know how things are going to turn out. Maybe your dollar is going to be the one campaign donation. These are not campaign donations. I know the FCC. What is it? The FEC? Am I retarded? Am I retarded? Which one is the FEC? Yeah, I think it's the FEC. Anyway, this is not legally a campaign contribution, but who knows? Maybe I could use it on a campaign eventually. You never know. Maybe that dollar is what defeats Brylan Hollyhand and allows our country to remain sovereign and not subject to the whims of a state in the Middle East. To me, sounds worth it. Interesting stories we got coming up. I did an interview, actually, with a journo. Regretting it already, but did an interview with a journo for the Deseret News a little bit ago, so there should be a fun article coming out soon. And additionally, I was just on a podcast called the God and Country podcast. Very interesting. Very interesting. We're actually gonna. I wonder if this is out yet. God and Country podcast. With this guy Uriah Kennedy. Let's see if it's out yet. Doesn't look like it's out yet. But it should be out soon. And we'll see what you guys think about it. We'll see what you guys think. I was half debating. One of the things that came up on that podcast was the issue of a universal basic income, something that I'm actually in favor of. And a lot of people are not. So I was half debating just doing a show dedicated to universal basic income. And it's something that I'll probably end up doing a little bit, down the line. I'm looking at my calendar right here. We've got a lot of stuff that still needs to be developed, that still needs to be put out. And tonight I actually still also have to write an essay for one of my classes. But nonetheless, we are going to get it all out. We are going to be able to create all of the content. You're going to get it. You're going to get a video about birthright citizenship. You're going to get some debates. You're going to get all kinds of fun stuff. And the best way, of course, to support all of that is through powerchat.live/kaiclips. But without further ado, we're going to jump into the first really exciting thing, right? Which is this this meeting that Zohran Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York City, had with President Donald Trump. And I don't know if all of you guys got the chance to watch that. I thought it was epic. I thought Trump came off super magnanimous. He came off very, very silly. There was this clip that was so good where Mamdani is asked. This, for me, was the best part. Mamdani gets asked, by one of these reporters after they talk a little bit about the meeting they had and some of their mutual concerns. You have Zohran Mamdani, who was asked, so, Mr. Mamdani, Mayor Mamdani, you have called Donald Trump a fascist in the past. And before, there was another question, and it was like, you called him a ruthless despot. Or they asked that to Trump. He's like, you've been called by Mayor Mamdani a ruthless despot. What do you think about that? Stupid questions. But Trump's like, yeah, I've been called worse. Chad move. But this next question was even funnier. It's the classic, you've called Trump a fascist. Do you still stand by that statement, Mr. Mamdani? And Mr. Mamdani's about to go into this big 20-minute spiel about, intricacies of language, his past positions. Well, I think that there's some things and, the 14 characteristics of fascism, Lawrence Britt, secular humanist. That is the guy, by the way, who came up with these 14 characteristics or tenets of fascism. The one that these tenets that all of the liberals on political TikTok cite. Those tenets come from a guy who's not like a political scientist. He was like a journalist. And he wrote in a magazine called The Secular Humanist to give you a sense for what maybe his perspectives or leanings are. This guy's name is Lawrence Britt. So just out the gate, as an issue of credibility, ridiculous. There's no reason we ought to be taking Lawrence Britt's word for it concerning what fascism is. But it was hilarious because Mamdani, before he could get into this 20-minute, long, thorough answer about the intricacies of fascism and maybe why he is not going to disagree with what he said prior, but maybe change his rhetoric or not change his rhetoric, before he could get any of that out, what does Trump say? He says, you can just say yes. It's fine. It's a lot easier. I loved that. I thought that was a great move. That is Trump. That is Trump golden Trump. And, obviously he posts a lot of cringe. There's a lot of things that we can disagree with him about, and we do. But that was a perfect moment, and that was absolutely one of the shining examples of why Trump did so well in 2016 and why his personality has continued to affect and influence so many people today. And I loved it, particularly because of that truth, that obvious truth that is, nobody cares about fascism, really. Nobody truly cares. And what I think is even funnier is that Trump kind of recognizes that. I think everybody on the right wing does. There's kind of a twofold victory here. There's one, Trump just doesn't care about the label. Like, he doesn't legitimize it. He doesn't empower it at all because he waves it off so flippantly, so nonchalantly, if I do say so myself. But then there's also the second part, right? Which is when you see the interaction again. Mamdani is asked, You've called Trump a fascist. You stand by that. And Trump says, you can just say yes. It's a lot easier. Trump there is kind of belittling and absolutely taking a huge W over the left-wing paradigm, which is just over-explanatory, unnecessarily convoluted, and just semantic in all of these different descriptors of fascism, crypto-fascism, neo-fascism. It's like, look, guys, we're not on political TikTok. You know, people are conservatives, people are Democrats. You don't need to call yourself a neo-libertarian phalangist. You don't need to call yourself a constitutional monarchist with distributist economic policy. You don't have to call yourself these silly words, and you don't have to give this huge response as to why somebody is or is not a fascist. I love the way that Trump just steals the legitimacy from that question. Just says, you can just say yes. That's fine. I'm not going to take it hard. And he also just kind of realizes that that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's the state of our politics. And him not caring is good for us. This has always needed to be the way that we do politics. When you spend so much time, and frankly, if Trump would have taken a larger issue with it, it would have been equally detrimental for us. Like if he would have said, yeah, why did you call me a fascist? Like, that's a really charged language. It's like, although true, yes, it is a word that comes with certain implications. You have the classic, is it okay to punch a Nazi, to punch a fascist? Most people say yes, which means that if you call somebody fascist, you in some way are acting as a stochastic terrorist. You are implicitly encouraging violence against them. Although all of that is true, we have always needed to get past this dichotomy that exists in our politics of just like fascism and neoliberalism, or fascist Nazis versus like good guys. We have always needed to get rid of that paradigm. And when Donald Trump and other Republicans have played in the past this, well, you're actually the fascist, it does nothing more than legitimize that paradigm. And it's a paradigm we just have to grow out of. It is not relevant to American politics. And so Trump did a great job by just saying, yeah, you can just say, yeah, I don't care. He also, by the way, Mamdani likely feels the same way. And I do believe this might get me some backlash. I do believe Mamdani is an intelligent person. I think he's a very intelligent guy. He ran a very good race. And he was very intelligent on the campaign trail. His ideas are forward-thinking, not necessarily good, but he's thinking. He truly is thinking in a more nuanced way than I think most politicians do. And this is something that I saw absolutely on political TikTok back in the heyday of the Republican High Pass with 1 million followers, back at the time of the midterms when we were fighting a war against Gen Z for Biden. Nobody remembers that. Everybody wants to talk about Dean Withers. Nobody remembers Gen Z for Biden. But anyway, Zoran, just like all of the people, all of the smart liberals on political TikTok, realizes that that's the worst part of politics for them. The worst part for them is this constant need to talk about, well, it's fascism because of these specific reasons. And, even if I'm not using it in a connotative sense, like I'm using it in a denotative sense, I'm using it in a prescriptive sense, right? Not a descriptive sense, which means to use language to refer to an ideal that is kind of universal or rather that is fixed, a fixed definition versus a definition that changes based off of circumstance. That would be the difference between prescriptive and descriptive language. Language that prescribes, right? Like what a thing is, what it should always remain, or language that describes simply what you're trying to get at, which is the way most people use the word fascist, both Republicans and Democrats. So that is the thing that I think Mamdani hates the most, that every leftist hates the most, and it's something that Trump recognizes. And every single person who's intelligent sees that interaction between Trump and Mamdani, both left-wing and right-wing, and it's like, yeah, based. Spare me the trouble. Spare me this, political paradigm. Shrugging it off like that was such a good move. And you saw this like very authentic banter from both of them. And Trump did something that has been talked about now more frequently in our circles, which was incredibly interesting. He ceded a ton of ground rhetorically to MAMDANI on the issues of affordability. And not just in New York, but kind of in general. And he said that he would make affordability a larger part of his platform. Obviously, it has been. There was a huge talk about eggs. Whether that's materializing, it doesn't really seem so. The economy's in rough shape. But nonetheless, he's adopting a lot of the framing of what the most important political issues are from MAMDANI. And the reason why I think they get along so well, everybody was wondering that. There were a lot of, right-wing Republicans who were getting really upset that they were so chummy. Trump kind of like hits him in the arm or like pats his arm. He's like, it's okay. You can just say yes. And he like looks up at him smiling. I saw somebody say, that Trump looks at MAMDANI in a way that he doesn't even look at Vance. So true. And so a lot of people were shocked by that. But what I think really ties these two people together is they are both populists. They're also both from New York, of course. But they're both these populists. And Trump, I think, sees in MAMDANI something that is beginning to escape him. Trump sees this authentic movement around MAMDANI and this populism and this excitement, this virality. And it's a virality that he has not enjoyed in some time, at least not for good reasons. And that is why I think they got along so well. And to me, it was awesome. To me, it was awesome to see Trump come off so magnanimous, so cordial, silly, goofy, happy, not saying that, New York City was going to blow up because of the Islamist race communist who's going to, proclaim global jihad? I don't know, like what people were saying on Twitter. What I loved is that you could see in Trump, this is what he kind of yearns for. He wants that energy back. He's a young soul. And he sees MAMDANI, he sees the energy that MAMDANI has, and he wants to find that again. And what that caused is him to consider, like I said, like I was kind of prefacing before, a new direction for his movement, the MAGA movement, which, like we've talked about before, is now even larger than he is, and he needs to step away a little bit. But what it foretells, what this spells for the MAGA movement is, yes, right-wing, more of a moderation on the right-wing issues of economics, and hopefully, this is what MAMDANI was saying, a greater crackdown on crime and homelessness and drug abuse. And Trump said something that was interesting. He said, I think MAMDANI is going to surprise even a lot of conservatives. And this kind of populist movement is something that is actually very dangerous to the establishment. And it is something that could totally be pulled off. This, of course, has been discussed at length recently, but it's a very true idea. There is, and we saw it, we literally saw the President of the United States of America, a right-wing populist, Donald Trump, sit down and have a meeting, have a cordial meeting, have a friendly meeting even, with the most controversial figure in Democratic politics today. And what happened? They got along great, and they talked about two issues. Lowering basically stopping crime, helping keep people safe, and second, affordability. And Trump talked about affordability in rhetorical terms that were probably much more, tilted to the side of MAMDANI. Trump did not say, what I think we have to do is just let the market do what it does. He talked about how people can't afford groceries. And of course, he kind of patted himself on the back at the beginning of their interaction. But I think it's very interesting. I think we're going to see a much more economically mixed situation as far as the Republican Party platform. And I think that Trump had a bit of a wake-up call. I think Trump had a bit of a wake-up call in Zohran Mamdani. And I think it's also very important to say It is. I don't just think it. It is very important to say that we're absolutely going to get more figures like Zohran Mamdani in our national politics. And hey, we may even get one here in Salt Lake. The redistricting efforts in Salt Lake City, or in Utah broadly, have caused a new district to be created. This is totally gerrymandered. This is an absolute, abuse of power from the judiciary in Utah, from the Utah Supreme Court, from a corrupt judge, a rogue judge, who decided to side with the plaintiffs who are moving, of course, who moved in 2018 to get rid of Prop 4, or to propose Prop 4 and get rid of the boundaries that the state had at the time. We in Utah have 4 legislative districts. And of course, you vote in those districts for a representative for the House of Representatives. Right now in Utah, we have Blake Moore, who's a Democrat in secret, Celeste Malloy, Mike Kennedy, and Tyler Clancy. Great guys. Almost all of them. And I've met most of them. Haven't met Blake Moore. Great people, though. But what you're going to see happen in these upcoming elections is a change of the districts so that these 4 Republican districts, 2 of them are combined, and there is a new district made which becomes one of the most Democratic districts in the entire country. It's like a plus 20 Kamala district that's going to be created basically just out of Salt Lake City. Now, the issue is, and we've talked about this before, in representative government, of course, it might seem on its face legitimate to say, well, there's a lot of liberals in Salt Lake and they want to be fairly represented. Well, it's actually not just, though, about the division of states or of cities, like these larger urban centers and rural areas. The kind of government that we have, the constitutional republic we have, finds it actually very important that the interests of those in major cities are juxtaposed to those in rural communities. And a lot of issues of housing, of affordability, of whatnot, begin in rural areas and then work their way into the city. Which means having districts that are made up of a composite of both urban centers and rural areas is very healthy. That resolution between how we ought to designate our bicameral legislature to provide equal voices for states that were more rural or more agrarian in their economy and states that were much more populous, centers and economic bastions. That accord, that agreement was, again, what we've talked about before on the show, the thing that saved this country. If we did not come to the conclusion of having a bicameral legislature that had both representation for these smaller communities, these states that had more rural areas and were not as well developed as, New York or Pennsylvania, right? If it were not for that agreement, we would not have a country. We'd have just a bunch of like little city states. So the importance of that issue cannot be understated. But even past that, it's like, this is just gerrymandering. You don't think it's gerrymandering just to like cut out this tiny little part of Utah, just like this big urban center, which is like a plus 20 Democratic spot, the way that they've sliced up the borders? You don't think that that's gerrymandered at all? And this is going to become an issue because, like we were saying, it is going to be very easy, in my opinion, for a new Zohran Mamdani. We got to give him a more Mormon name for a what should we call him? Let's say James Lindsay. No, Josh. We'll call him Josh Lindsay. Josh Lindsay is an ex-Mormon who lives in Salt Lake City, who's like even more radical than Zohran Mamdani. This is a fictional person. But let's say you have this guy, Josh Lindsay. This guy's running in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City and the state of Utah has a very interesting phenomenon occur. It is the most crazy liberal people are activated. They are provoked by the firm and the strong presence that the church has in the state. And what does it drive them to do? Well, a normal person would see an influence of the church and say, well, I'll be just more libertarian about it. It's not for me, but it's fine. I understand. I am a visitor here. I am a visitor in the great state of Deseret. I know this is not my home. I'm simply a visitor. That's what a good person would do. Unfortunately, I'm being a bit hyperbolic there. But unfortunately, what the case is that the strong presence of the church in Utah causes people to grow resentful. They grow resentful of the church, resentful of Christian morality, resentful of basically everything that made Utah a desirable place to live. You think people want to live here because we have like gay bars in downtown Salt Lake City? And the liberals in Utah would be, they'd be surprised to hear this, but Salt Lake isn't a place that people want to live because it's a super LGBTQ city or LGBTQ friendly city. I don't know if it's very gay. I think it is. It probably is. It's like the third most LGBTQ accepting city ever in the country. Isn't that crazy? In Utah. So what it causes is this, large reaction, this outsized reaction. But the reason that people want to be here in Utah is not actually because of these progressive principles. It's because of the pioneers that created Utah. It's because of the way they populated it, the values that have allowed this city and state to remain safe and cohesive, orderly, clean. That's why people want to live here. They don't want to live here because it's growing more liberal, growing more progressive. They want to live here because Christian conservatives made it an awesome place to live. That's why. Yet, of course, there's no amount of gratitude for the things that were accomplished in the past. There is rather this firm rejection of all these things. The same way that a spoiled child gets mad at his parents, rejects their advice, rejects his own home, something that his parents worked hard to give him, something that is obviously better than anything he'll find out in the brave new world. Despite all of that, he rebels. And he does not leave his parents alone. He actively hates them. It's the classic quote, people leave the church, but they can't leave the church alone. Many, many, many such cases. Too many to count. But yeah, so basically, the legislators, is that like, can we get like a plus 20 Democrat district? Boom. Here's another issue. No, I'm gonna stop myself. I'm gonna get into a tangent if I bring up another issue. They gerrymandered this place, and what is that going to cause? It's going to make out of this new district in Utah one of the most crazy progressive places in the country. It is going to be a district with a plus 20 Democrat, polling favor. That's probably, I butchered the way of saying that. There's going to be a significant favoring of Democratic candidates. They were like a plus 20 region during the elections for Kamala. And by the way, if you're an independent in Utah, you're a Democrat. If you're an independent, you're a Democrat, 100%. Here's the other issue. In Utah and in Salt Lake City, and this is what I don't think is being reported on enough, there are plenty of liberals who write down that they are Republicans. They register as Republicans, they vote as Republicans, and they vote for the most liberal Republican that's on the ballot. And the reason they do that is because they believe that, Utah's so conservative, and the districts that currently exist are so conservative that if I don't register as a Republican, my voice won't be heard. Well, maybe your voice isn't being heard because you're not registering and affiliating with the party with which you align. Democrats in Utah want to complain about the fact that the districts, as the way they currently stand or stood before, they want to complain that these are like plus 15 or whatever Republican districts. Everybody knows Utah is a more conservative state. It's a reflection of the will of the people. But second, maybe it would look more democratic if you people didn't lie on your voter registration. Maybe if you registered with the party that you actually agree with, you would have more of a competitive district. But you don't. That's the problem. The problem is that the same, pro-democracy Democrats who are all in favor of, the redistricting in the name of better boundaries, the problem is that those same people will just blatantly lie on voter registration because they've fed themselves a lie, which is that their vote will never count in Utah. unless they do something totally illegal like gerrymander the district. So that is a huge issue. And I think all of those things together cause there to be a severe lack of reporting on just how liberal Salt Lake is going to be. We'll call it the Salt Lake District. The Salt Lake District is going to be incredibly progressive. It's going to be incredibly pro-LGBT. The city already is. The mayor of Salt Lake City, in response to a bill that didn't ban the pride flag explicitly, it banned the flying of non-official flags on public grounds or state grounds. In response to that, you know what the mayor of Salt Lake City did? She passed a law making official 3 different flags. You guys want to see these flags? Check this out. Check this out. You guys are going to flip out. You're going to flip out. You guys want to see the city flags in Salt Lake? You want to see how cooked we are, chat? I better not see any of you guys flying this. Alrighty, ready? Boom. You're about to see this. Chat. Hold on. Okay, you're about to see it. You're about to. And I just like, this is ridiculous. This will give you a sense for what Salt Lake is like. All right, chat. Here are the four flags that we adopted by ordinance. The Sago flag. Okay, fine enough. The colors of Deseret, white for salt, and the blue of the Great Salt Lake, for which the city is named. Okay, fine. A Sago lily. I get that. It symbolizes the greatest snow on earth. Based, Agarthan. Awesome. All right, too much of a spoiler down there at the bottom. We'll jump to the next one. The Sago celebration flag. Oh, okay. Well, what does this represent? Juneteenth. In Utah, we have a Juneteenth flag in Utah. It literally says it. June 19th, 1865. What? Utah was never a slave state. Utah was like literally never a slave state. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Like, it was legal for a bit, but we were not a slave state. Yeah, classic Utah holiday, Juneteenth. Hey, gonna go throw. I don't know why I went into an Australian accent just there. Hey Diana. Hey Diane. Hey Denise. Do you want to go make some funeral potatoes and some Jell-O to celebrate our Utah holiday, Juneteenth? Nobody has ever said that ever. Hey, Kellyanne Lee. Hey, Kellyanne Lee Smith. Do you want to go make some, I don't know. Do you want to go grill some hot dogs? Do you want to, what's like a classic Utah thing? I should know this. I'm a Utahn. Do you want to go have some fry sauce? Do you want to go to Swig and buy some crumble cookies to celebrate Juneteenth? Oh yeah, we'll go find like the 2 black people that live in Utah and go celebrate. Like, are we serious right now? Are we kidding ourselves? But wait, in the great words of the great Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. I'm getting reports, by the way, from the chat that BYU is winning against Cincinnati. Go Cougs! Go Cougs. Let's go down. Oh, by the way, the explanation. This Salt Lake City flag represents the history of Juneteenth, our city's Black and African American residents, and our pride in them. The new Salt Lake City Sago celebration flag combines the Sago lily's beauty and the resilience with that of iconic bursting star representing freedom, the arc representing a new horizon of opportunity for Black Americans, and red symbolizing the blood shed by those who were enslaved. Wait. Is that a typo or am I tweaking? Guys? the blood shed by those who were enslaved. I guess that makes sense. I would have said like of those. When you say the blood shed by those who were enslaved, I guess it kind of makes sense. I read it different. I thought like blood being shed by those people. Like they are shedding the blood, but of others. I don't know. I read that wrong. My bad. We'll move on. Oh yeah, and of course it represents, its united symbols represent Salt Lake City's values of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and our celebration of Black excellence. Okay. All right, we'll keep going. Next one. The Sago belonging flag. Let's go. Yes. I was waiting for this one. This one's my favorite. I was waiting for this one. It says the Salt Lake City flag represents the city. Oh my goodness, I can't speak, dude. Am I having a seizure? Anyway, this Salt Lake City flag represents the city's LGBTQIA residents, as well as our broader city's acceptance and love of this community. This new Salt Lake City Sago belonging flag combines the beauty and resilience communicated by the sago lily with that of the rainbow, which represents beauty and diversity of the community. The arrow of black, brown, light blue, pink, and white, which represents marginalized communities and forward progress. Oh goody. Oh goody. Oh goody. It was not enough to include black and brown people in the pride flag. You also needed a Juneteenth flag specifically for them, specifically for people who were enslaved for like 13 years. That was like, it was a 13-year period where you could even have a slave in Utah. So anyway, we'll go down. What's next? Oh, the Sago visibility flag. Now, I totally get what you're thinking. Guys, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. But the pride flag includes the trans flag. I know that you're thinking that, but it's not enough. That's, frankly, assuming that trans people don't need their own flag is a little bit bigoted, my guy. Not heckin' cool. So calm down, or I will literally get you fired from your job and maybe killed. Anyway, the Sago visibility flag, this Salt Lake City flag, symbolizes the city's transgender community and our commitment to seeing and celebrating them. This new Salt Lake City Sago visibility flag combines the sago lily as an emblem of beauty and resilience with pink and blue stripes used to represent men and women, and the white stripe, which represents those who are non-binary, intersex, transitioning, or otherwise gender non-conforming. And of course, this flag is needed to represent those people because this flag that mentions the exact same communities somehow didn't include it enough. That's Salt Lake City. That's the state of Salt Lake City. I don't think it is a stretch of the imagination to say that if we cannot get enough signatures to overturn Prop 4, that Salt Lake City is going to have a representative who is trans. I don't think that that is a stretch whatsoever. I think that's incredibly likely. This is one of the most progressive places ever. And people don't realize that because the amount of Democrats is underreported because they register as Republicans and the independents are Democrat already. So, yeah. Brenosh raises a good point. There was no symbolism for the blood spill during the transition surgeries. I think we need to make another flag. These 4 flags were not enough. 4 flags? Not enough. Not enough. We need 5. We need more. And, yeah, look, guys, this is something that I'm very, very much committed to now. We are gathering something like 200,000 signatures in order to overturn Prop 4, which was the proposition the referendum made to change the districts in Utah. And we need your help. If you live in the state of Utah and you care at all about like the future of the country or the city or the state, if you care at all about like anybody in this state or country, you need to be signing on to this petition. You need to actually do your part. This is the time for action. You cannot sit idly by. And do not allow, by the way, Democrats to position this, to frame it as if this is just Republicans trying to push back against democracy. No, we're actually going and doing this by referendum, which is our legal right. That's the way that you guys pushed Prop 4 through in the first place. It literally had less than 1% in its favor. It was like a 49.4 to like a 50.3 split or something like that. I forget the exact numbers. But it was such a small majority of Utahns. And when you understand that you want to know how much money was spent in order to get Prop 4 passed? Upwards of $2 million. Upwards of $2 million was spent by special interests and special, lobbying groups and organizations, with more than 2/3 of that money coming from out of state, not even Utah orgs, but out of state organizations. Nearly $2 million were spent to push this through. And it was absolutely this astroturfed campaign by these Democratic super donors and lobbying groups, which wanted to see Utah start to turn blue in the midterms. Past that, you want to know how much money was spent to oppose all of this? $0. You think that's democratic? You think the people that talk about getting rid of what was it, Citizens United? Isn't that the issue where, political campaign donations are understood as free speech, or they're protected as free expression? Yeah, Citizens United versus the FEC. It was the FEC, I was right. These people who complain about Citizens United altering or, manipulating the electoral process, those are the people who are fighting to keep Prop 4 around, despite the fact that 2/3 of the money used to support the Prop 4 initiative came from out-of-state lobbying groups. You think that's democratic? You think that's representative of the will of Utahns? Not at all. You think carving out a tiny section of the most democratic part of the state and saying that is equally representative of Utah to send a representative to the House of Representatives at the national level, you think that that's democratic? No, it's not. That's a manipulation of law for an entirely cynical political purpose. And this is not to say that you shouldn't engage that way with politics. I think it's the right of Democrats just as it's our right. But I will not for a second stand here and ally with Republicans who are not going to do anything about it because they believe it to be more principled. Democrats are going to do that anyway. And this is the second issue that we were going to talk about. This is the issue of redistricting. Unless we start to win all of these redistricting battles, we're cooked. We have a slim majority in the House. Republicans have a very slim majority in the House. What is it right now? Hold on. I should know this off the top of my head, but there's more than 500 of them. So, that was a joke, by the way. There's not 500 representatives. I just want to make that clear, just so you guys don't go think I'm stupid. Just to make sure you guys don't think I'm stupid. Yeah, 219 to 213. 219 Republicans to 213 Democrats. And guess what? MTG, out of there. Okay? So you got a seat up for grabs. She's resigning. Guess what else? In Texas, they're trying to win 5 seats. They're trying to make 5 blue seats red, but it's being stopped in the courts. You had a lower court that ruled that the new proposed maps in Texas were gerrymandered on racial lines and were thereby not legal. It is not illegal in the state of Texas to draw lines for political means or purposes. That is not illegal. If you can prove it's for a political goal to be representative of Texas's conservative values or Texans' conservative values, you can do that. You can get away with that. That's fine. By my understanding, it is a less strict state in that sense on the issue of map drawing and how districts and whatnot are drawn. But the issue that went all the way up to the Supreme Court, because it was challenged by Governor Greg Abbott, is that the map that's been proposed in 2025, this new map that was going to give 5 seats to Republicans, is gerrymandered on racial grounds and thereby not legal. Because you cannot gerrymander, you cannot redistrict on racial grounds. Well, here is from, where were we at? Let me find the article. Raw Story. Don't know too much about this website, but this is the place that I found reporting on it. This is true. This happened yesterday. It says Supreme Court Justice Samuel A. Alito on Friday temporarily reinstated Texas's GOP-favored congressional map, a move that delivers a significant advantage to Republicans as the midterm election filing deadline in the Lone Star State approaches, according to media reports. The decision from the George W. Bush appointed justice allows Texas to use the new district boundaries for the upcoming election while the legal challenge continues, Axios reported. The injunction, initially imposed by a three-judge federal panel earlier this week, had halted the use of the map, again for the grounds that I just mentioned, or for the reasons I just mentioned. Republican Governor Greg Abbott and other state officials quickly appealed the injunction to the Supreme Court. The injunction basically stops it from occurring. Says, nope, go no further. And they appealed this. And because of the way that the law works concerning voting and voting rights and redistricting, and map drawing, the appeal goes immediately to the Supreme Court. It doesn't go to like the 5th District or 5th Circuit Court of Appeals. It goes directly to the Supreme Court. And Justice Alito sided with the Republicans in this case. It says, Alito's order, which Axios noted on Friday is not a ruling on the merits of the case, pauses the injunction and gives the plaintiffs until Monday to respond. So this is not an absolute win, but it is absolutely a win. That's funny. It is surely a win, but it is not an absolute win. It's not the end of the story. But anyway, it says, pauses the injunction and gives the plaintiffs until Monday to respond. Candidates, meanwhile, now have until December 8th to submit their filings for the U.S. House seats. The Republicans' majority in the lower chamber could hinge on the outcome, that's the House of Representatives, could hinge on the outcome in Texas's elections. As the notoriously red state that voted overwhelmingly for President Donald Trump in the 2024 election, bowed to pressure from the MAGA leader and carved out 5 additional GOP-leaning seats this year. Texas began this summer's unusual mid-decade redistricting effort after President Trump pressured the state to give the GOP more House seats and protect its majority. Axios reported. That kicked off the redistricting efforts from both parties nationwide. While redistricting based on politics is legal, racial gerrymandering is not, leaving it up to the High Court to eventually decide whether the map is legal. No timeline has been set for a final decision. So, yeah, that's huge. And this issue, it's like, you imagine you wanted to run for office and you are being told, well, the district you wanted to run in is actually no longer your district. And also, now it actually is again, but that could change in a couple of weeks. Can you imagine how difficult that must be to file for candidacy when you don't even know which map applies to you? Like, it just is a logistical thing. This is a nightmare. But as an electoral or as a political issue, Texas needs these 5 seats. Texas absolutely needs to win these 5 seats because California has just won their redistricting efforts. Hold on. Sippy mode. BYU just recovered a Cincinnati fumbled ball. Yes! Go Cougs! California Democrats are projected to gain 5 additional seats in the House of Representatives following the approval of Prop 50. So, boom. We need these 5 seats. Absolutely need these 5 seats in California. If we lose these 5 seats in California, we lose the majority. What did I say? 2019 to 2013? Or 2013. 219 to 213? No, I got that wrong. I've got that totally wrong. No, I got that right. 219 to 213. With 3 vacant seats. The majority is 218. We lose any of these seats, it's over. We lose any of them, we don't have the majority. It's just over for us. So it matters what happens in Utah. I know some people who live out of state, out of Utah, they're going to think that this show that I'm doing, I'm just doing it because I live in Utah. No, what happens in Utah is going to get national attention. And if we are not able to overturn Prop 4, which is the initiative that was proposed to change the districts here in Utah, if we cannot overturn Prop 4, I promise you we will get a Zohran Mamdani. We will get this Josh Lindsay, who is trans. I promise you. I swear it. And I promise you, if we do this, if we hit this like 5 in Cali, 5 in Texas, there's a couple other states that are also in redistricting battles, and we lose Utah, Utah might be the deciding district here. You never know how it's going to turn out. This is going to be complicated. And this will decide, to a large extent, the midterms. But that all depends on how the MAGA civil war pans out. Because right now, more than win elections, the Republicans have been concerned, not with beating Jay Jones, a guy that talks about, and I mean electorally, not like hitting him with a club, not like hitting him over the head with a bat, but electorally beating Jay Jones and other politicians, other Democratic politicians in races across the country. Rather than concern ourselves with politics and winning, we concern ourselves with who Tucker Carlson had on his podcast. Yeah, Mountain Mamdani. I like that. Mountain Mamdani. You're going to get a Mountain Mamdani here. And it's going to be, and he'll be a trans person, and so you're going to call him Mountain MAMDANI. Mountain MAMDANI. I like that. I like that. That's clever. Hey, that's hey, I did a good job. Hey, that's so clever of me. Wow. That's such a smarty pie. But yeah. So that is huge. This is going to be huge. This is going to be a big deal. And it's not just going to be a big deal in Utah. It's going to be a big deal for the country. All right, it's getting a little gross now. I don't know what else I was going to say, guys. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm kind of lost. I think that was basically it. Oh, yeah, the MAGA Civil War. Yes. We are at this point here now where we have to decide what are the issues. What are our single issue vote issues going to be? If we're single issue voters, what would be the issues that Trump campaigned on most fervently that are most important to us? Immigration. Immigration cannot be lost. And this is said before, right? But you have people in the Republican Party who have made their single issue, for which they are single issue voters, they have made that single issue U.S. support for Israel or the prevalence of anti-Semitism in the conservative movement. That's not okay. And look, we are at a point where we are needing to decide which things to sacrifice and which things to coalesce around, which issues to coalesce around. That's what we're deciding. That is the question that is on all of our minds. And if that's the case, you have to ask yourself, what is really the most important thing for people who are right-wing? What is the issue? What is the issue that must be included? What is worth fighting, leaving, or joining the party for? And that issue is, it's immigration. Maybe it's crime or immigration. One of the two. But I'll tell you what it absolutely is not. Support for Israel. George Washington talked about this in his farewell address. He warned us. He warned us of having alliances that were untested or that were assumed. What was the specific language? Typing check. Says, it is our true policy to steer clear of permanent alliances with any portion of the foreign world. Need I say more? And what does that mean? It means that our alliance should not be a single issue voting item. It should not. That should not be one of the acceptable issues. And if you have somebody who is telling you, I'm going to destroy this party over this issue that doesn't even concern America, that person has never been your ally. It is irresponsible. It is irresponsible for people like Ben Shapiro, for people like James Lindsay. It is irresponsible of them to destroy the party over issues that don't even concern Americans. That's wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that an issue of immigration and an issue of support for Israel are equally concerning or are of equal concern to the average American. They're not. You know, whatever the issue is, and by the way, you know, if we're here saying, hey, U.S. support for Israel for us is kind of a deal breaker, and they're saying, like, if we're in this debate, if I'm saying to Ben Shapiro, hey, Ben, you know, for me, this support for Israel thing, maybe Ben Shapiro's a bad example. If you're talking with a buddy and you say, hey, look, for me, supporting Israel is a big enough issue to not vote for the party over. It is a big enough issue to like not throw my support behind the Republican candidate. If we have that problem, if you have that problem, you have that reservation, that concern, the person talking to you, the response should be, okay, either I understand that or I don't understand that. But even if I don't understand that, I should respect the fact that you seem like you seem to be saying that this is pretty important to you. And I am willing to say, hey, if it's that important to you, I'm willing to cede that ground because at the end of the day, it's not an issue that I'm willing to break up the party over. But that's not how this is playing out. And I know the way I'm framing it might make it seem hypocritical, but it's not. There are real concerns about foreign influence in this country. Those concerns are legitimate. And even if they're not understood, it should be easy enough for the establishment to tell that it's not worth breaking the party up to defend this principle that everybody is starting to disagree about. If so many people are starting to say, hey, I don't want to give support to Israel, if so many people are now saying, this is not something I want to support, I'm principally against it, you need to change that party platform, where is the justification for fighting it? Where is the justification for ignoring the will of the people in order to preserve a status quo that is completely contrary to the principles that the founding father, George Washington, warned us of? Where is that? These are not equally legitimate concerns. If somebody told me, well, I'm not willing to vote for Republicans because they don't support Israel, I'd be looking at them like this. I'd be like, what? What are you talking about? And it betrays what the true interest is. If somebody told me, if some Armenian told me, I am unwilling to vote for Republicans unless they do something about, you know, the Turks, unless they do something about Azerbaijan, I would probably say it looks like more than concern yourself for the fate of the country, you're concerned about how much we support this other country. That's not a legitimate enough reason for me to come to your side. But the opposite can be true, which is that if I believe that the U.S. support for this foreign country is detrimental to the United States, I'm absolutely in the right in saying, hey, that's not something that I'm going to allow in the platform. I don't want to vote for anybody who's going to include outright and unwavering support for Israel in the party platform. I'm unwilling to do that. And anybody should be able to hear them say that, whether they understand it or not. They should be able to hear them say that and say, okay, I'm willing to cede that ground because at the end of the day, it is not going to be to the detriment of the United States. Surely, maybe it will be to the detriment of Israel, and they oftentimes say that they don't even need our help, so I don't even see how it would be to the detriment of Israel. But even if it was, that's okay. because we're voting for America's future. But the fact that you have people like Ben Shapiro, James Lindsay, and others that are not willing to recognize the grievances and the complaints of the majority now of Republicans, I would wager, it shows that there is a real problem. That is the issue of the MAGA Civil War, is that they see this issue as something non-negotiable, and there is no justification for their position. Why is it non-negotiable? My position, and the position of most, America First oriented conservatives, it is defensible because it's ultimately for the best interest of America. But I promise you that is not the first thought. The best interest of Americans or of America is not the first thought of all of the, neocons holding up the party and making this huge fuss over who Tucker Carlson has on his podcast. So, yeah, just wanted to say that. And I'm not just talking about financial aid. I'm talking about military aid. I'm talking about just the positioning that we have, finding them as like a strategic partner or as an alliance. If we think that is detrimental to the United States, we should be able to pull out. And by the way, what's the counterpoint? Well, if we pull out, then the United States is going to get nuked? No, it's not. No, it's not. The United States is not going to blow up because we stopped orienting ourselves to align with Israel on issues of conflicts in the Middle East. It's simply not. So, anyway. That is Cincinnati touchdown freak. Anyway, that's just something I wanted to talk about. That's the issue of the MAGA Civil War. And fellas, I think that's going to be this section of the show. If you guys do want to support the show, we'll read through your super chats right now. You can go to powerchat.live. Let me type it out in the chat. powerchat.live/kaiclips to support. If you like what you've been hearing, if you want to support a broke college student, and if you want to just be generally based as heck, then show some love over there. All right, guys. Monkey TV. How the freak is it spelled? How the freak is this site even spelled? Oh, I got it. Monkey.app. Here we go. Guys, I got it. Guys, I got it. Guys, I got it. Okay. We're going to throw in our headphones. As the super chats come in, we'll read them. We'll shift over here. Now when the super chats come on, you guys will be able to hear them. You'll be able to hear the awesome song that plays when you send me money. And yeah, we'll have some conversations with some fun people. See what you guys are thinking in the chat. The MAGA Civil War is just homosexual Mexicans versus white Americans. I don't know if that's the case at all. But yeah, hey, Prester John, good to see ya. Lauren, good to see ya. PC 118 Gamer, good to see ya. Crying Feline, good to see ya. Devin Zander, good to see ya. Sneaks, good to see ya. Yeah, get on those clips. Your clips are great. Your clips are great. Okay, let me set up Monkey. Oh, wait. I think it's actually going to work super well. Guys, I think it's actually going to work super, super well. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. What's up, Criblub? Guys, am I mogging? I'm not mogging on, dude, I look fat. I look fat on Monkey. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. BXBCXB, good to see you. About a week ago, you were featured on a Japanese TV show. Yes, I was. I was featured on a Japanese TV show. That was epic. That little side quest, you guys like that? Wait, we should actually watch it. We should watch it. Hold on, I gotta upload it. Let me upload this to my Google Photos, and we'll watch it. That's actually super funny. Hold on. I just gotta log into a different account. And then we'll start up OME TV. You look good, no homo. Hey, appreciate that. Yeah, it was NHK. NHK was the news station that featured us. Me and a couple buddies. Oh, I gotta remember my password. I remembered it first try. Let's flip and go. Japanese TV show from Japan? Yeah, like in Japanese. Literally in Japanese, literally. Do I still have it? I should still have it. I'm gonna be mad if I deleted it. Was it this 3-minute video? I thought I had the 10-minute video. All right, the 3-minute video it is. We are going to pull that up real quick so that you guys can see that. This is hilarious. Kai, I live in Japan and watched it. No way. Are you serious? Are you serious, bro? The segment was in English? Crap. If there's any way, could you access NHK and like find it for me? I really want to see the English version, but I couldn't watch it. I wasn't on. Dude, if you could send that to me, that would be so goated. I will love you forever. I got to hold on, I gotta add this. It's gonna be really bad quality, the Japanese one I'm about to show you. The guy that sent it to me, he sent it in really bad quality. I love him though. I'm very grateful. Do not want this to seem ungrateful. We'll call this stream. That's what we'll call it. Stream. I wonder if it's going to pop up. Recent. What the Sigma? Maybe I have to back it up. I'm kind of retarded with this stuff, man. Kind of don't get this at all. Can I say that on YouTube? Can I say the R word? Kyle, you got to play the Sunbeam clip I sent you. Dude, the Sunbeam clip went hard. I was a fan. That was good. That was a good video. It could have been synced up a little bit better. Could have been synced up. But, hey, man, type in NHK World Japan. Well, the issue is the site's in Japanese. NHK World Japan. Hold on. NHK World Japan. Then type inside the growing movement of America's young conservatives. Okay. Somebody has to clip this. We got to clip the reaction. The growing movement of America's young conservatives. 0 results were found. Freak. Oh, got it. We got it. Oh, guys, are we back or are we back? Guys, we're actually so back. Oh, man, this is going to be Kino. Is it on YouTube? Dude, if it's on YouTube, if it is on YouTube, we're going to pull this up right now. You guys are some goats. Yo, we got DJums, Guitar Groip 2, NASCAR in the YouTube or in the Rumble chat. My bad. Let me see. I'm going to type that in. Kai, well-known technology lover. Yeah, that's me. That is me. I love technology. That's like my favorite thing. Tech? Love it. Yeah, you're right. It's here. It's here. That's actually that's so Kino. Hold on. Wait. Based alert. Guys, we're going to watch this together. Guys, we're going to... Hold on. Oh, man, I'm actually so hyped. All right, gentlemen. I'll bring myself down here. We're going to cover the Out of Touch logo. Oh! Let's go. We ready? Reaction time. Guys, reaction content is back on the menu. Look at the... You couldn't see it, but my face is there.
1 year ago, the United States elected Donald Trump as president.
True.
12 months later, Trump continues to lead a divided America, one marked by widespread protests and polarization. But the recent slaying of right-wing public figure Charlie Kirk appears to have fueled support for Trump, especially among young people. NHK met with the next generation of U.S. conservatives to understand where the movement is headed now.
This is where Charlie Kirk spoke his last words.
Utah.
Kirk was a hugely popular conservative figure and one of Trump's most influential allies. He was killed here in the western U.S. state of Utah in September.
Good morning.
Phil Lyman, a former conservative Utah state legislator, knew Kirk.
Yeah, he was sitting right there when he was shot. Yeah. There it is.
Lyman says he still hasn't recovered from the shock. He thinks Kirk's death is tied to widespread political division across the United States.
It's almost like a hatred, and it's built up into this division. I live my life this way, but the way you live your life is a threat to me. And I think it's going to be profound for a long time to come on that group of kids, because they are wrestling.
Let's go back for a second. That's where the assassin jumped out of.
On that.
I don't know if you guys can see it. The like right there by the yellow tape, kind of. It's where the assassin jumped up from under the ground.
On that group of kids, because they are wrestling.
Candace Owens. Can we improve the quality on this guy at all?
At Kirk's memorial service, the president
Nope.
took the stage, praising Kirk for unifying conservative supporters.
Charlie's message has not been silenced. It now is bigger and better and stronger than ever before. We go forward strengthened by his faith and bolstered by his courage and inspired by his example.
We're going to skip forward.
Kirk's politics.
Definitely at school, I feel very pressured to be, from the teachers, to be liberal. I realize there's so many people like me who think the same way as me.
I need to step up. I need to be a person, especially a young person, to turn America around and try to influence others.
NHK visited Turning Point USA's headquarters last month. It's a sprawling complex with 6 buildings that house Turning Point's bustling operation. It's
The
where they
slow-mo
film their
video is
show,
crazy.
plan events, and design official merchandise. It's a production floor for contemporary U.S. conservatism, one with vocal opinions on immigration, foreign policy, and the left.
The youngest
The left.
conservatives, self-described conservatives, are basically the most peaceful group. And it's the left that's actually continuing to otherize in this fascist, Nazi, bigots. Totally. It's totally blackmail.
Andrew Colvett took over as the host of Kirk's program after his death. He believes the ideology of Make America Great Again, or MAGA, is a powerful message for young people.
What our first interest, our first concern needs to be the people of America and the young people of America.
What's his Canthal tilt? Ooh. Andrew Bros. Andrew Bros. It's not looking good, Andrew Bros. The Canthal tilt.
They're going to be the leaders of tomorrow, and we want them leading us down, a path.
Guys, it's unfortunate, guys.
That is American, not un-American. We want MAGA, national populism, conservatism.
Hey, what's going on?
Following in the footsteps of Kirk, an
Who's that
increasing number
guy?
of influential young conservatives are getting involved.
Who's that guy?
Kai Schwemmer is a university student.
I love that.
from
Kai
Utah.
Schwemmer.
Involved.
Hold on.
Kai Schwemmer is
Let's
a
go.
university student from Utah. For the past 5 years, he has been broadcasting
That's my
online
room, guys.
about politics.
That's my room. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Out of Touch. 2 days in a row. Who's this
He
guy?
has over 30,000 subscribers on Instagram and X. Every week, he hosts a show to discuss news and politics from a conservative perspective. On this day, he talked about Zoran MAMDANI, New York City's
MAMDANI. MAMDANI.
newly elected
W,
liberal
shut up.
mayor.
Hey, thanks, guys.
MAMDANI is charismatic. MAMDANI is populist. They will not lose the vote of Middle America
because they're not going to be hating on white people. It's like Trump was able to speak to disenfranchised white voters. Yo, say I in the chat if you were there for the stream. Did you know there was a Japanese studio behind me? Did you know there were Japanese people watching me, recording me? Did you know that? I look behind the green screen. Yeah, it sucks. The green screen, like the setup sucks. It's so bad. That's my room. That's my front room.
Past 5 years, he has been brought
the Lego flowers, cozy
online about politics.
This is how close I have to sit with the green screen behind me. I have like zero room. Zero room. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So much glare on the camera. 2 days in a row.
And X.
Let's go,
Every
guys.
week he hosts a show
that's the setup, guys. That's what it looks like. I got my little light right in front. Yo, this is like breaking the fourth wall moment. Crazy.
News and politics from a conservative perspective. On this day, he talked about Zoran MAMDANI, New York City's newly elected liberal.
There I am talking to all of you guys.
MAMDANI is charismatic. MAMDANI is popular with white people. It's like Trump was able to speak to disenfranchised white voters.
Schwemmer says with the Democratic Party's recent win in New York, it's important now for young conservatives to unite under President Trump and carry.
We need to start a Kai setup upgrade fund. Why do you think I asked for super chats? Why do you guys think I asked for super chats? You guys don't know how long I went doing this show from a single monitor. Okay, real ones remember when I got my second monitor. Game changer.
Momentum into the next election.
Who's that handsome guy?
We're at a pivotal moment in this country, and whichever direction it goes, the young people are going to have to live through those decisions that we're making right now for the rest of our lives. We will have an election in 2028, and we are going to have to continue this movement to preserve what America is.
So that's a really good point.
And for more on this story, I earlier spoke with NHK World's Ebizuka Megumi. You were just in the United States.
That's the girl that interviewed me. She's awesome. She's so great.
Young people there, but what's
BYU
the
touchdown?
Yes. Climate there right now?
Yes.
It's pretty clear that Turning Point's popularity
she was
is
awesome.
growing, and the
she was so awesome.
ideas are spreading across the United States. While reporting for this story, I saw many students registering on the spot for events and activities, and I felt the momentum. Kirk, who was a charismatic conservative, but it seems like his influence is actually spreading even after his death. For this report, we focus on the young conservative movement, but momentum is also growing among those who oppose Kirk's right-wing ideas and the Trump administrations.
Are they social distancing? They're sitting so far apart. I don't know.
In recent weeks across the US, those reported drew 7 million people.
How many?
And some experts and Democratic supporters have criticized Trump for his position on controversial issues like diversity and immigration. I think the reality is that the political division in the U.S.
She's so awesome.
And the gap between
I just love Japanese people, dude.
Is more intense.
I don't know if I can show you guys. Check this out. Check out what they brought. Like in exchange for helping, not in exchange. I didn't know they were going to bring this. But one of the things, this is why I love Japanese people so much. They brought like a gift because I let them like film. Look at this thing, dude. Look at that. Guess what this is? This is a mouse pad. This thing is a mouse pad. Supposedly. I use it just like, I like have it set up on my shelf because it's like so beautiful. It's like the most beautiful thing ever. Anyway, very epic, very based. We'll keep watching.
Meanwhile, New York City just elected Zoran MAMDANI
I don't know if I'm in this again.
Democratic socialist as mayor. It's 1 year until the midterm elections, but
we'll skip forward a little bit.
So, among these two,
I don't think I'm in it again.
In the coming months, we influence whether or not they end up voting for the Republican Party during the next election.
Let's go, guys. Guys, was that based or what? Was that freaking awesome and based in like... Okay, was that freaking based and awesome or what?
1 year
they're calling it the international run. They're not calling it the generational run. Hey, let's go. Jake the man
just subscribed on YouTube.
Thanks for subscribing, big guy. They are not calling it the generational run. They are calling it the international run. That's what they're calling it. Yeah, that was freaking epic. Heckin' epic. Okay, I have the video too. I have the video so you guys can see it. But I think maybe not. Maybe I'm retarded. Whoa. Okay, it's got to be here though. Am I tweaking? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, maybe not. I want to visit Japan one day. I want to visit Japan, bro. I want to visit Japan so bad. That'd be epic. That'd be epic and swag. Awesome segment. Very cool. Hey, thanks. Jake, love to see you in chat. Latter-day based. Imagine a German loving the Japanese. You know, there's just something. It's just something in my bones, something in my blood just makes me love the Japanese. Just love these guys, you know? Can't quite put my finger on why I love them so much, but I do. Okay, hold on. I don't know how I'm going to be able to show you guys this. Show this to you guys. Yeah, I'm kind of retarded. I really can't figure it out. Oh well, guys. I tried my hardest. I would have like tried my hardest, guys. Let me try it one more time. I'm gonna try it one more time. We'll see if it like just needs to refresh. Kai, if you come to Tokyo, I'll buy you a drink. I don't drink. Hey, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll have some. Do they have alcohol-free sake? Can I have some sake? Is that a thing that you guys have alcohol-free? Some sake? That's got to be a clip. That has to be a clip. I'm clippable. That's why my name is Kai Clips. All right, couldn't figure it out, guys. Sorry. All right, monkey. I actually have to adjust my screen a little bit. Well, but it's not going to matter because we're going to do a window capture so that you guys can see monkey. Are we ready? Hold on. Boom. Monkey. Haha, monkey. Hey guys. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is kaiclips, guys. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream, guys. I'm here on monkey. Are we mogging? I feel bad. Like, how's it? Do I mog more with the light off? Not really. It's actually kind of worse. Do I mog more with the bright light? Shows my gullet, dude. My freaking gullet. No, that's worse. Hold on. White light? No. Blue light? No. I think it's got to be yellow light. I like the yellow light the most. All right, guys, let's just jump into it. This isn't gonna like they can't have anything sus on here, can they? They can't have anything sus on here. Oh, I gotta change the I gotta change our goal. I gotta change the goal real quick and make it new. Our new goal, guys, is gonna be upgrade the studio. I shut the flip up, Microsoft. Okay. The new green screen I want is $1 billion. It's actually 200. I'm joking. But that's going to be the studio upgrade. That's our new goal. The new stream goal. Oh, what the? The new stream goal is updated 0 out of 200. Upgrade the studio. That's the goal. If we can hit that, we're balling. But let's, guys, let's just jump into it, guys. BYU champions 10-1. That's what's up. That's what's up, BYU. Let's go. I actually really don't like the way my hair looks here. And I can, wait, hold on. I could kind of change the angle, can I? Oh, man. Oh, man. It's like totally actually. I'm cooked. Chad, am I cooked? Chad, is it over? What if we move? Okay, yeah, I like this. I like looking over at this angle better. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Monkey TV. They're not going to be sussy, right? Not going to be sussy, right? It can't be anything sussy, right? Right? Right, guys? Just in case. Hold on. Hey, what's going on, twin?
What's up, twin?
How we doing?
Yeah, how are you? Pretty good. What about you?
Doing so good. Doing so good. Where you guys from?
We're from. Well, I'm from Texas. They are from Ohio. Well, I say they, but he's knocked out off that Nuha Muha over there. So.
What's that?
That Nuha Muha.
Twin. No.
Not me. He's asleep over there. Yeah.
No, twin.
That Nuha's got him schlumped. I will say that.
Do you guys hit the Nuha?
I partake. Do partake. Not me.
Who's the guy? Hold on. Can I know you guys' names?
Oh.
Can I?
I am Spooks.
Spooks?
Yep.
Okay, Spooks and? Chaos. Nice. All right. I'll be, what's another one of like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? I'll be Famine. Is going to be my name.
Hard.
That's good. Tough. That is low-key tough. Is that a Polish flag on the background?
That is, in fact, a Texas flag.
Texas. Close. Texas, Poland. Close. I should have guessed Texas, given the context. Well, hey, guys, Spooks. Chaos, right? Was your name?
Yeah.
Luck, man. I don't know how old you guys are. You look like you're... Let me guess. Hey, hitting the gym? Let's flip and go. I'm going to guess 16? 15. 15?
No, older. Like higher.
17?
A little bit higher.
18?
We're both 18.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He's my cousin. He actually just came down today from Ohio.
Let's go, like Jake Paul. Like Jake Paul from Ohio. Let's flip and go. No. No worries. I'm busting your chops. I'm busting your chops. Well, hey man. I obviously don't know you guys. I'm a little bit older. I thought you guys were gonna be much younger, so it actually makes me happy that you're at least not like 15 off the geek bar. That makes me happy. But hey, you know, it's well, what do you guys think? Oh my gosh, sorry. I just had really loud volume in my ear. Give me a quick second. I have some music playing from the background. But so you guys, what's
enjoying everything I've seen so far.
What's like the way you're thinking and feeling about the geek bar? Like what got you guys into that?
I don't do none of that.
You're based Chaos, right?
Yeah.
Chaos. Why don't you do that? I see the cross around your neck. That's based. That's what's up. You a Christian?
Yep.
Let's go, man. That's sick. I like the chain too. Spooks, the chain is sick. I have one just like that. Is it Cuban? Cuban link?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fake.
Hey.
No,
hey.
It's not. I swear to God, it's not. I've been wearing it for like 2 years straight.
It's probably like stainless steel, isn't it? Like that's sick.
It's silver.
Is it real? Like sterling silver?
Yeah.
Based.
Oh, I got you.
Hey, based. Well, hey, are you Christian too, Spooks?
Yeah.
There's some hesitancy. Are you kind of like maybe you think you're Christian, but dude, we were gonna save their lives. What? What happened? What happened? What happened?
What? Why do
What's...
you sound like you're from Utah? Why can I not? Okay.
That's crazy. Why do I sound like I'm from Utah? Yo! Hey, ¿cómo estás, amigo?
Hey!
¿Cómo andas?
¿Hablas español y hablas inglés al mismo tiempo?
Obvio. ¿Cómo estamos?
Muy bien.
¿Cómo
Eso habla
estamos?
muy bien de ti.
¿De dónde sos?
Yo soy de México, ¿y tú?
¿Pero de qué parte? ¿Sos de Ciudad de México? ¿De Monterrey? ¿De ¿De dónde?
Específicamente de Chihuahua.
De Chihuahua. Genial, genial.
Sí, sí. Estaba pues casi pegando a Estados Unidos.
Sí, sí. Conocí unos misioneros que eran de Chihuahua.
Oh, eso está muy bien. Genial.
Oh, man. Hey, what's up, twin? Oh, all right. Kate from Kentucky. Let's go. Jay from Georgia. What's up, twin? What's up, twin?
What's going on, gang?
Jay, what do you think about Marjorie Taylor Greene?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, she sucks.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Well, let's not say swear words, but she does suck. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, fuck that old.
Hey, don't say swear words, Jay. Come on. Come on, Jay. Jay.
Fuck that whore.
Well, I like the articulation. I still don't think we should say swear words.
Yeah,
Freak that B word.
Freak that heifer.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I like it. Are
Yeah,
you part of the quarter zip gang or are you Nike Tech gang?
Man, Nike Tech.
So you're like hitting licks, slamming out the ops.
Nah.
Based. Are you a Christian?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Let's
Absolutely.
go. Let's go. Dude, that's what's up. That's what's up. What is
the foundation?
Who is Jesus Christ to you?
Everything. Strength. Peace.
That's what's up, man.
Everything. Salvation.
That's what's up, man. Absolutely. The only way. The way, the truth, and the life. I like that, Jay. I like that a lot. I appreciate that, man.
The person who can save you, for real, for real.
That's true. There's a verse. If you don't mind me jumping in and quoting something, I don't remember it completely, but there's a psalm. It's like 148. It says, "Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help." Basically, that we just have to trust Christ. It's like the son, like princes, these politicians, even our friends, they'll let us down. But Christ is he's always there for us. So that's very real.
Yeah, most definitely. My coach, he always used to say, "Tell God your plans and watch how you laugh at them."
I like that. I like that quote. I'm trying to think. I heard a quote that was very similar. Man, I was a missionary not too long ago. We would always think about this idea. It happened a lot. Whenever we had plans, the day usually wouldn't go according to plan, but whatever God wanted would happen. But then when we didn't plan things, nothing good would happen, really. Like we wouldn't have much success. And so I think a lot of people they put everything in God's hands, but they realize that in order for God to, drive us, to help us, it's like if we're a car, he can't drive a car that's in park. You have to put yourself in gear. You have to be willing. That's what's up, Jay. Well, Jay, are you staying out of trouble? That's what's up. It's difficult sometimes, but I'm glad you tried to.
It's difficult sometimes because of your peers. Sometimes.
Yeah. I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. I had it was really tough for me to realize, and I had to talk to one of my buddies about this. It was really tough for me to realize that, even though I didn't want to do certain things, when I was around certain people, I realized that I would do it a lot. And I realized sometimes it's not even their fault. Like they have different values. Maybe they do stuff. Maybe let's say they do drugs, and that's fine with them. And I don't hate them for that. Obviously, I wish they wouldn't, but because I look out for them. But it's not that they're bad people. But for me, it was important to realize that I was susceptible to that. That it was going to make me do something I didn't want to do. And man, I would just say, look, never underestimate the power of having a conversation with those guys and say, hey, man, it would help me a lot if when we're together, you didn't do those things, because I know that it makes me do stuff that I didn't want to.
Sometimes you got to think for yourself and just remove yourself from environments like that,
100%.
Because if you do that and you think for yourself and then you end up doing wrong by yourself, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself.
True.
So, that's the point I'm at, with my life, just going with the wind, going with God's timing all along. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you're not alone. You're not alone, man.
Of course.
You know,
I got
you got him by
but
your side.
most definitely. But what I mean by that is like family. You know, shit like that.
Do you have a kind of a tough family situation? You have like relatives that are maybe down the wrong path.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that's the really tough part, right? It's because it becomes very difficult. Like we want to love people so much, but sometimes it's like in order to love in the right way, you also have to realize that doesn't mean you have to always be in bad situations with them. And that's tough.
From a distance.
100%, and that's okay. It's there's another idea, right? It's that we plant the seed, we try and spark an idea or maybe say a nice word to somebody, pray for them. We plant the seed, and God giveth the increase. He's the one that'll look out for them, and we'll keep praying for them, and we love them. Never stop loving people. That's I think the biggest problem is people, when they see so much wrong in the world, they just stop loving. And they don't realize that that's worse for you than it is for others. It's like you're doing your own soul damage.
Yeah. But it's also like a form of protection, because I understand both sides of, of that. It's a form of protection,
Like keeping yourself out of the bad situations, you mean?
It could be a situation, it could be a female.
Dude, the females are the worst. That's what's going to get you. That's what's going to get young guys like us 99% of the time. That is, yeah, you got to stay away. You got to
They only get you. They only get you if your mental fucked up. You got to be mentally strong.
100%. And you're right. It's like a lot of people, they put themselves in bad situations and then they just hope that their like mental fortitude is going to be strong enough to resist. But it's like, no, like if I'm smart, if I'm trying to not do something, I'm not going to get as close as possible to the thing and then try to like with all my might resist it. We're not that powerful. The flesh is weak. It is super difficult to, if you're on a diet, there's a stupid example, but if you're on a diet, you're not going to go to a bakery and then try your hardest not to like eat a snack. It's like you're making it more difficult than it has to be. You're going to put yourself in places where it's easier to make good decisions and harder to choose wrong. I agree with you 100%. That's real.
That's real. One thing I can say though, if you have discipline, maybe you can get away with, certain stuff like that. That discipline just got.
Oh, he's gone. Oh.
That's why it called me again. You feel me? But goddamn, yeah, discipline you gotta overlap the temptation to do what you know what I'm saying.
That's real. Well, hey, I agree with you. I will say though, the goal in soccer, it's never to get as close to the out of bounds as possible. You're not supposed to run as close to the line as you can because it's a lot easier to cross over and then you're out of bounds. So I think that's you got to avoid it. So, well, hey Jay, great to meet you, man. I hope that I hope you can make those changes. I mean, obviously we're all working on ourselves in different ways, but I think you got a good head on your shoulders, and if it means anything, you've got good goals, and I hope you succeed in them.
Most definitely.
That's what's up. Legend. What's up, twin? No, he got out. It's over. The twin. Oh, we'll keep going. Kai's full beamer mode. Dude, this is what we do. We white pill. What, you guys haven't seen a kaiclips Omegle stream? We white pill up in here. Okay, that's what we do. I will be a Hellcat. Yeah, for real. Ari Tech, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yo, what's up? All right. Okay, hold on. Just for a second. We got a super chat. Sorry I didn't get to that before. I had to turn down the volume a little bit. It was super loud for me. Anonymous says, "Hey Kai, first time watching your stream, enjoying everything I've seen so far. Keep up the good work. From a fellow Utah to another. God bless." Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, man. We appreciate you, Anonymous. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for helping the Upgrade the Studio fund. Appreciate you big time. Let's jump back into it. Let's jump back into it, guys. And thank you so much. Huge shout out. Yo, what's up, guys?
What up, bro?
How? It keeps cutting out. What the flip? I think it'll be fine. I think it'll fix itself. I hope so. It could be my Wi-Fi, or maybe it's theirs. We'll skip in case it's theirs. Yo, what's up?
Hi.
Howdy. What's going on?
Not much.
What are you doing on a Saturday night you're in Florida, so it's like almost midnight for you. What are you doing on Monkey TV? Or Monkey.cool?
I don't know. I'm bored.
I feel that. You think you're a happy person?
Sure.
I don't believe you. That was not a convincing answer.
Oh.
What do you... If you could change 3 things about yourself right now, what would you change?
Are you a therapist, or like, why are you getting deep in my business?
I'm not a therapist. I'm not licensed or anything. I'm an armchair psychiatrist at best. But no. I just I want to put goodness into the world. You don't have to answer if you don't want, but I think it's an interesting question. Like, you know, if you could change 3 things about yourself, and like not like vain like physical things, like not like, oh, I wish I could change my nose or my ears, like. If you could just change 3 things about yourself, maybe habits or ways of thinking, like, well, what do you think you would change?
Maybe how much I procrastinate, because I do that quite a lot.
We're 2 peas in a pod on that one.
Motivation.
Real. I feel that. I feel that one too.
And maybe be less anxious.
Question for you. Do you what are your coping mechanisms for your anxiety?
I pick at like the skin around my nails a lot. Mess with like my jewelry and stuff. One thing, really bad habit I have is like pulling out my hair.
Like, and that's like an old-fashioned one. You know, people say that, pulling out my hair. Very few people do it. So,
it's weird.
Hey,
it's a really bad habit.
Still though, you know, it's healthier than some other ones. But I get what you mean. That's tough. It's tough. I think one of the big issues is that a lot of the times we in an effort to avoid boredom or to avoid anxiety, we usually like supplement it. And I think most of the times nowadays, it's like you just supplement it with drugs. And I find that almost always makes it worse.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Based. No vaping?
Mm-mm.
No weed?
Mm-mm.
Based. I think, man, you know, the best thing probably that we both got to do, because when you were describing the 3 things that you would change, I don't have a ton of anxiety, but I definitely I have problems with procrastination, and I definitely have problems with motivation sometimes. I would wager that your bedtime is probably not what you want it to be. And mine isn't either. Mine's like 2 a.m. every night, no matter what. And it sucks. And you'd be surprised just how much the amount of light that you're exposed to during the day will influence, and the time that you wake up, how much that will influence your anxiety. It's like going to bed late and then waking up late. You feel like it's over. It's like you wake up at 10 or 11 a.m. and it's like, oh, the day is just done. And I think that causes a lot of this this spiral. And I think if you and I could resolve to change anything, and you want to know the cool thing. What's your name? Do you mind if I ask?
Ella.
Okay, sweet. I don't know if the monkey names are real. It's like one of my first times on this app. I used to do Omegle. But Ella, if you and I could resolve to do something, and the cool thing is you can resolve to do it right now. You have the power. You have the will. I know you do. We could resolve to fix our bedtime. Fix the sleep schedule. And you know what you have the opportunity to do, Ella? That's really cool. You have the opportunity to make that decision now and immediately see the positive result. Isn't that cool? Like just think about the fact that like you can literally make a change that could even last your entire life. It's a tough one, obviously, but what is it? A habit takes three days or like 3 times to establish a habit. Or no, I think it's like a week, or I forget what the statistic is. But you have the opportunity to do that right now. And I know you're strong enough to do it. What do you say? You think after this chat, you'd be willing to just turn off your phone completely, like power down? I imagine, maybe you have it plugged in close to your bed, put it on the other side of your room, plug it in obviously, but put it on the other side of your room, and then go to bed and wake up in 8 hours. 8 a.m. and you're going to have the entire day ahead of you. What do you think of that?
Sounds good, bro.
And you know what, Ella? I don't know if you're religious. I'm Christian. For me, Sunday is the day of rest, which is really cool. Admittedly, you might feel the same way. I used to hate Sundays. Like, I don't know. There's just something about them that feels weird. Have you ever felt that?
Yeah, I like them because of church, but I don't like them sometimes.
Do you still go to church by chance?
Yes.
Let's go.
Every Sunday.
That's awesome. What time is it?
Right now?
Or no, what time is church tomorrow?
Oh, it's from... I go to the late service, so it's like 10 to 11, I think.
Sweet. Well, hey, that means if you go to bed right now, right after this call, you get to wake up at 8. You get to have an awesome morning routine. Like, you get to get ready on your own time. There's no rush. And then you get to go to church. And you are going to be able to set a precedent or, like, start a habit that I guarantee you is going to make you feel a lot better in all the weeks to come. What do you think?
I think I will.
Pinky promise? Let's go. And I'm saying, no, like, you can't check Instagram. You can't check Snapchat. This call ends. Phone, power button, hold down, swipe, off, and then bedtime. Deal?
Okay.
Okay. Ella, I'm proud of you. I hope you have a great night.
You too.
See ya. I'm Kai, by the way. I should say that. I never give you my name, but great to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night. Oh, let's go. What's up, twin?
What's going on, twin?
Are you giving a tattoo?
I'm tattooing, but I'm not giving a tattoo now.
Oh, you're practicing.
Yes.
It's kind of baller. What are you listening to?
1900 Rugrat, that cracker.
Nice. I'm that cracker. What's your name, Tyrus?
Yes.
Good to meet you, man. I'm Kai.
Nice to meet you, man.
Tyrus, tell me about yourself. You think you're a happy person? Would you say you're a happy person?
Yeah, I'm glad to see another
cracker.
Another that white boy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I'm that ginger. I've never seen a ginger harder than me.
Let's go. You just don't say that word dyslexic. Just if you're dyslexic, do not say that word. That ginger.
That ginger. Yeah,
that ginger. That ginger. That ginger. I don't know if I can say it.
Yeah, watch out. Hold on.
Well, hey, man.
Just in here giving tattoos, you know what I mean? You know, just fucking the game up.
Let's go. Let's go. Ballin'. You got the Lil Durk shirt?
Of course. Of course, of course.
Okay. Balling out, balling out, balling out.
Living life, you know, to the fullest.
You kind of look like Young Lean. You listen to him ever?
No. I've only ever gotten Ian Gallagher.
Ian Gallagher. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if you're right about that. I'm going to look this guy up. Ian Gallagher. I've heard his name. He's you're kind of right. You're kind of right. He has like more of an uncanny look though. I don't want to be mean to him, but you almost look like more human.
Yeah.
Like you have more light behind your eyes. But yeah, no, dude, you're going hard as freak. I love that, man. Love that for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Of course, man. Well, hey, I hope you have a good night. I hope you know that God loves you very much.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Of course, man. Hey, no need to thank me. He's the one. He's the one that loves you. So I love you too, but you know he does it in a way that we can't even understand. So
I like this little talk show we got going on. You know what I mean? It's nice.
oh man, thank you, making me blush, Appreciate you. Well, hey, Tyrus, you have a good one, champ.
You too. Have a good one.
Dude, what a wholesome guy. Herb, what's going on? What are we doing? What's up? What's popping?
Greetings.
Thanks. Hey, you guys too. This is vibey. Question.
What's up, man?
What are your ethnic backgrounds?
Well, I'm 100% Aztec Mexican.
No way.
Yeah.
¿Hablas español?
Sí.
Obvio. ¿Cómo estamos, pibes? ¿Cómo estás, güey? Chao.
¿De dónde eres?
Yo soy de Utah.
¿Utah?
De Utah, sí. Y ustedes son de Georgia.
Yeah.
Ahí estamos.
¿Español?
What's up?
¿Aprendiste español?
Sí, yo lo aprendí en Argentina. Serví como un misionero para la Iglesia de Jesucristo de los Santos de los Últimos Días. Así que por eso hablo español.
Hablas como Messi.
Como Messi, sí. Tomo mate como Messi también. Ahí estamos. And where are you guys from?
He's Filipino. Yeah, I'm Filipino. Bro.
Let's go. Filipino.
I'm 50% Hispanic. My mom's from Mexico, and my dad's from Jamaica.
No way. Crazy combo. Well, that's what's up, guys. How do you guys know each other? You got buddies from school?
Yeah. We knew each other since elementary.
That's sweet, man. You got to stay with your day ones. You got to stay with your day ones.
Yep.
But you know what else you got to do?
What?
You got to look out for your day ones.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna guess something.
What?
And I don't mean to be presumptuous. Do you guys?
Nah.
Nobody?
Nah, nobody.
You just slime people out. You've got your flintlock pistol. You just hit licks. No. No, I know. It's like this is like fake flintlock, but it's pretty sick. I have one like that. Or my grandpa does. Okay, that's good. Vaping?
Are you streaming right now?
Maybe.
Nah, we don't vape.
No. Now you guys have to say no. No. I'm joking. Wait, what's up?
Are you on TikTok?
I used to be. I get banned a lot on TikTok is the problem. Not because I like slur people out or stuff like that. I get banned because I'm political, and TikTok just does not like right-wing politics at all.
So what are you on?
I'm on right now. I'm streaming to Rumble and to YouTube, but I'm on like Instagram, Twitter, like all over.
How many viewers do you have?
Right now, I don't know. Hold on, I got to check the different platforms. On Rumble, it's pretty slow. It's a slow night. We've got like 15 on Rumble, and then YouTube, I don't know how many. We've had 167. I don't know if they're all here right now, but moving up. Oh, bro, I just realized. Oh my gosh, silly guys, bro, that's crazy. What's going on, guys? Hey.
Are you a YouTuber?
Maybe.
Oh, we're locked in.
Oh, okay. You guys like, you just want to be seen. You want fame. Okay, that's fair. You guys look very young though. How old are you guys? Like 15?
No.
14?
No.
13?
Why do you keep going lower?
Because I don't think you're 18.
No.
17. 16. Okay. Well, stay away from boys.
I'm gay. Don't remind me, bro.
Was that a joke or was that?
No, it's just being dead ass. Not fully gay, but like so.
Like bisexual. How do you know? Don't be like graphic or anything, but like when did you think?
No, before you let her answer that question, just know it's gonna be a crazy age. Just know 7.
How did you know at 7 years old that you were not heterosexual?
I used to play doctor with my neighbor. You look so disappointed.
It's just I don't know. I don't want to be mean or anything. I just think that right now, a lot of the times, there's like a big emphasis in who you are, right? And in your identity, the way you identify, and especially like your sexual attraction. But I think that a lot of the times that emphasis is not necessarily super beneficial. I think eventually it can cause us to forget what our most important identity is, right? Like when you meet somebody and you ask them, who are you? Like if somebody asked me that, most of the time what I respond with is I like tell them what my political views are. Or I tell them I'm a college student, or I tell them I'm from Utah, or stuff like that. But I think a lot of the times we forget that the first thing we ought to say is I'm a child of God. And it sounds corny, but it's true. I think it's very true. It's true for you guys. It's true for me. And I think that one of the big problems I've been seeing is that, especially now, the first thing people respond with is like, oh, I'm sexually attracted to like this thing or person or whatever. It's like the most important identity for a lot of people is their gender identity or their sexual orientation. Do you think I'm out of pocket in saying that, or do you think that that's probably true?
No, I think that's a valid. I think that I didn't come out saying that. Like, I think you like thrown that question.
You're right. No, you're 100% right. Like you didn't come on here saying like, hey, I'm like bisexual. You didn't say that. But I think the problem is that the way we talk about our identity now, especially at younger and younger ages, makes people make decisions about their own identity that maybe they wouldn't have made otherwise. But even if that's the case, like it's not to say that there's no people who are, same-sex attracted or anything like that. And being same-sex attracted in and of itself is like not gonna send you to hell or something like that. But I think that oftentimes we go too far in encouragement, and I think it can cause problems sometimes. Like there's that decision that you made when you were 7 or now, like to identify as other than heterosexual, that can influence a ton of other decisions you make in your life in ways that you don't even realize. It's very interesting to see how much more likely people who identify as non-straight are reporting to be active drug users. And it seems like those things aren't correlated, but I think they are. I think there is a correlation about the way that people perceive themselves. And then I think my worry is that eventually we start to assume that our value is derived from those labels. And the only label really that speaks to our value is that we're children of God. Because nobody can take that away from us. No circumstance can change that. And it's the only relationship really in the long scheme that in the long stretch that means something.
Now, how would it be if I said I don't believe it?
I think, to me it would be sad. But it's also unfortunately like not super that wouldn't surprise me very much. I think especially when you're young, religion is not something that you typically love. For me, I went to church with my family because it was something that like my family did for years, for so long.
That's crazy he says that, because they say that in the private schools all the time. Like, especially in church, in Sunday school. They're like, what makes you believe in God? It's because you're raised up on it. Like, let's be for real. If you didn't have a family that had a Christian home, you wouldn't even know about it until you got on social media.
I disagree. I disagree with that.
Or if you had friends that were Christian.
Well, you're basically saying, like, if there was nobody to tell me about Christianity, I wouldn't know about it, which is like, yeah, of course I wouldn't know about it. It's like nobody would tell me about it. And that's obviously, like, you know, kind of what I'm saying is I think that a problem is now there's fewer and fewer people who talk about it. And it's really interesting. I want to actually get to that question because I like that question. Like, why am I Christian? And I'm willing to admit that part of what makes me Christian certainly is having been brought up in a family that's Christian. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's foolish to not admit that. But I am a firm believer that everybody at one point in their life, no matter who you are, if you're raised religious, at some point in your life, you will have to decide for yourself whether you're religious or not.
That's true. That's why I'm listening.
And I think, and I appreciate you listening, by the way. I'm glad you guys haven't skipped. And I had to make that decision. Like, I came across a lot of people who would say things about my church or about my faith and would challenge it and would say things that to me were like, oh, wow. Are you serious? Like, if this is true, then I need to leave my church, or then what I believe isn't true. And I still come across those questions. Like, I don't purport to have the answer to everything. But I got to the point where I had to decide for myself, is this worth it? Like, do I want to even do the research required to find the answers to those questions? Or am I going to allow the questions to keep bothering me until I eventually just like give up on my faith? And I'm confident that I would be a much less happy person. My life would be so much worse if I had not ever done what was necessary and taken the time to research the questions I had. I'm super glad I did. And this was a little younger than you guys. I was 16 that I had these questions. And in my church, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. A lot of people know us as Mormons. It's very common for the men to serve a mission, to go on a mission at the age of 18. What do you have a question? Which one is Isa? Which one's Isa?
Oh, neither of us. That's
okay.
That's my best friend's account.
Okay, sweet. What are your guys' names, if you don't mind?
My name's Layla. Her name's Alyssa.
Layla, like the Eric Clapton song?
Lena.
Oh, Lena. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Lena and?
Alyssa.
And Alyssa. Lena and Alyssa. Awesome. So, Lena, you looked confused or intrigued. You had a question.
You said you're Mormon?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? It means that the guys date multiple women, marry multiple women.
That's a common misconception. We do not do that. We do not do that. That was something that was practiced in the church a little over a century ago, but has not been practiced for a long time. It wasn't a part of the church for the majority of the church's history. And it's something that now, like if you practice it now, you actually get kicked out of the church because it's been very clearly revealed from God that this is not something that we are supposed to be practicing anymore. So there was a short time where it was for different reasons, but it wasn't also anything to be like, oh, I just want a ton of girlfriends, so I'm like going to marry a bunch of girls. It wasn't like that at all, which is, I think, the way that people, they hear that and they assume, oh, it was like a guy who wanted to get with a bunch of women.
I think that it could have been used as that.
I would agree, but the historical documentation of the way it was practiced shows that not to be the case. What we believe in is,
I understand that.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, what you're saying is legit. Like, there were groups that broke away from the church, fundamentalist groups, who still practice it and who actually left the church when the church prohibited the practice of plural marriage or polygamy. So you're right. Like, there are definitely people who could have had ulterior motives. But the way that this worked in the organized church and in the legitimate sense was never with that motivation. And it wasn't something that was kind of universally adopted either. So, but that's a good question.
So I am not very knowledgeable on how Mormon people, what would I call it? Being Mormon?
Yeah, you can call us Mormons. We call ourselves members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's the full name of the church, but it's pretty long. So you could say like Latter-day Saints or Mormons.
Okay. So I'm not very knowledgeable on Mormons. I'm more knowledgeable on Christianity.
Mm-hmm. Well, just to clarify, I don't mean to interrupt. We consider ourselves Christians, right? So it kind of depends on what people mean when they say Christian, because some people mean a very specific thing. It means you have to adhere to certain creeds that were basically agreed upon by different churches around 325 AD. But I think the more important thing really is what your relationship is to Christ. Like, we believe in Jesus Christ. We believe he is the Son of God, that he died on the cross, that he rose 3 days later, that he was resurrected. We believe that the only way to God is through him. And we believe that he organized a church, that he called apostles, disciples, and that he is hoping to, bring us back to our Father in heaven. That's our belief.
Okay, so I didn't know you guys consider yourselves Christians. Like I said, I'm not well knowledge on this subject.
No worries.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get my thoughts together.
No problem at all. No problem.
So, can you explain to me the difference? Oh my gosh. Sorry.
It's okay.
Can you explain to me the difference between what differentiates Mormons and the popular belief of Christianity?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question. That's like probably the best question to ask because, we are another church, and every church should have kind of a reason for existing. If everybody believes their church is true, there has to be something, right, that sets one apart from the other. So we believe that shortly after Christ ascended to heaven, after his resurrection, he left his 12 apostles, who were 11, but then they called another one, in charge of the church. And they were kind of like the leadership, right? The leadership of the church. The problem is, in the couple centuries after Jesus' ascension to heaven, the church was being really, really strongly persecuted. Persecuted by the Romans and persecuted... Oh, is it over? Oh, we're back.
Sorry.
Yes, no worries.
I got a call.
No problem at all. So we were persecuted, the church that Jesus Christ established on the earth with this foundation, right, of a prophet, of apostles, of disciples, missionaries, blah, blah, blah. That church was very persecuted by the Romans, by the Jews, and eventually, and Paul writes about this in some of the letters that he wrote in the New Testament. He writes about an apostasy occurring, and an apostasy is basically when people rebel against the church or against God's word. We believe that because of this apostasy that occurred, some eternal and important truths that Jesus Christ taught while he was on the earth began to change or to shift and were not exactly what Christ had taught when he was on the earth. What's more, people began killing those same apostles. Peter, he was crucified upside down. Other apostles were stoned to death or were beheaded. Lions were sent to kill them. And so this foundation that Christ established, it disappeared. What we believe, though, is that in the absence of that church, people began to take the little truths that they heard Christ or his apostles teach, and they started to make a bunch of churches. That's why we have, for example, so many churches today. People don't agree necessarily on all the different parts, but almost every church has some portion of the truth. It's like if you drop a glass on the ground, it shatters into like 100 pieces. And people start collecting those pieces, which are portions of that truth, and they don't, any of them, have all of it, but they do have important parts. But they differ. Like some people think that baptism is necessary to be saved, other people don't. Some people think that Christ, has a physical body right now, but other people don't. And so there's all of these differences, right? So eventually, we believe, that church that Christ had founded when he was on the earth had to be restored. It had to be brought back in its entirety to the earth. And we believe that happened around the years of 1830 and in a thing that was called the restoration of the gospel. And we believe, which is something very special, that the church that Jesus Christ organized when he was on the earth is on the earth still today, that it was restored. And we have an extra book of scripture or an additional book of scripture called the Book of Mormon, which we use as an evidence of that truth, that the church has been restored. And the Book of Mormon talks about how Christ, after his resurrection, came and visited people who were living in the Americas, which isn't something that's told about in the Bible, but it is something that we believe happened and was very special. And it's kind of like another testimony. It's like if you ever did something really cool, would you want one or two friends to be able to tell everybody that, yes, that happened? Two, obviously. You want more than one witness. And in the New and Old Testament, it's actually called the law of witnesses, that by the word of two or three witnesses, or by the mouth of every two or three witnesses, shall all word be established. Basically, we believe the Book of Mormon, together with the Bible, testify of the fact that Christ is God, that he is the Savior of all mankind, and that he has restored his church today. And that's basically what makes us a little bit different, is we're kind of the only ones that have that special book of scripture along with the Bible. But we also believe in the Bible. So like I said before, we're kind of similar to the rest of the Christian world.
That's interesting.
I appreciate the curiosity, and I appreciate you being candid with me. I don't want to take up too much more of your night, but if I could give any parting words, it's that God loves you very much. I know that, and I think part of what makes me Christian is that I see so much beauty in the world, and it's an interesting thing. This was what was your friend's name? Anissa? No, not Anissa. Alyssa. Alyssa did this question a little bit. I sometimes will look at people on a bus or on a train or when I'm walking about, and I'll kind of say like a silent prayer, and I'll ask, I want to be able to see this person kind of in the way that God would see them, like as one of his children. And it might sound a little weird, but genuinely, every time I do that, it's almost as if that person's face like transforms. It's almost as if, not like to become something different, but to me, it just stands out so much more. And even if somebody is not like maybe physically attractive in a traditional sense, there's something so beautiful about any person whenever I do that. And I think I absolutely know that we're all created in the image of God. I absolutely know that we are all his sons and daughters. And I don't believe that some random process of evolution caused everything to be so beautiful. What reason does nature have to create beauty? There's no reason for it. But I think an intelligent designer, an intelligent and loving creator made the world as beautiful as it is and put so many amazing people in it. So that's a bit of why I believe what I do. Besides personal testimony and personal, things that I've felt, that's probably what convinces me the most. But hey, thank you guys. But hey, hope you have a great night. Hope you know that God loves you. I hope you avoid drugs and alcohol and vapes, which are probably the most common thing at your age. I know how it goes. Most of my friends did it too. And I had a buddy who actually got into it when he was really young. And unfortunately, it quickly turned into drug use as well. And that friend eventually, he was wrestling with depression, with anxiety. He was having a really tough time and unfortunately ended up taking his life. And so to me, I really never want that to happen to anybody. And so
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's all right. It was, now it's been like 6 or 7 years now, but still, no, it's okay. I didn't even realize I did that. I should have been more cautious. I've done that twice now. The last call I was on, same thing happened. But and it's all right. It's all right. But still, I know that is actually, it's a serious thing, and I don't know if you guys do it right now, but maybe you do already, and if you do, you likely have already thought about not doing it. And it's something that I promise you only gets more difficult to stop. But I know you guys are strong enough. I know you genuinely do have the willpower to be able to avoid it. And I hope you guys are good influences on your friends as well, because you probably have friends that are maybe much worse off. So look out for those people. They're very important.
I think that your view on why you're Christian is very, very nice. I don't personally believe in it. I don't think I ever will. But it was nice to hear a new perspective, and I completely respect your beliefs.
I appreciate that. I hope you're wrong. I hope that someday, you'll change your mind. Maybe we'll run into each other again. But nonetheless, I'm glad you've heard me out, and I appreciate the respect you've shown. Have a good one. Oh man, sorry. A little bit of missionary work there. Fellas. The 6'7". 6'7", can't do it. Can't do it, guys. Yo, what's up, Caleb? Okay. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
How we doing?
I'm good. Are you a streamer?
I am.
Are you living now?
I am.
What's your
What's up?
Wait, I'm just working.
Oh, no worries.
Do you have a YouTube channel, man?
Can't hear you super well. You're cutting out a little bit.
Do you have YouTube channel?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do. Do you want me to type it in the chat?
Yeah.
Alrighty, there it is.
Okay, man.
Kai Schwimmer. What's your name, man?
JR.
JR?
Yeah.
Nice. Good to meet you, JR. You at work is what you said?
Yeah.
you're on Monkey at work? Oh, you work at a tire shop? Let's go. That's based. Bros. Hey, what's going on? What how'd you find that video of my brother?
TikTok, and I'm not a boy.
Holy cow. That's crazy. That was like an 8-year-old. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, guys. Dude, the 16-year-old bisexual was that was black pilling. How would Gypsy treat Kai? That'd be an interesting crossover. Can you imagine Gypsy Crusader Kai crossover? All right, gentlemen, it's getting kind of late. I didn't realize how late it was getting. I have to do homework. So I think we might need to end the stream. Guys, we might need to end the stream. It's so over. But thank you guys for tuning in. Holy moly. Thank you. Who was our super chatter tonight? Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous, a new fan of the show. Thank you, Weskus. Good to see you guys in the chat. Officially, Hart. What's up, my boy? What's up, Mr. Hart? Good to see you, James. We got Willie TV, Prester John, Lululemon. Dude, I should have asked him to say Lululemon. Lululemon. Brenash, the Well Dweller, Tice 4M. Let's flip and go. The OG. Willie TV. I think I said Willie already. Alexander. Thank you guys for keeping me updated, by the way, on the whatchamacallit, on the BYU game. I much appreciate that. And hey, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to play, banger. We started this stream with this song, but I have to end it with this song because this is a banger. I love you guys. Sleep well. Take care of yourselves. Tell your parents.